Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and as I'm recording this video, we have about 2 weeks to go until Scarlet and Violet becomes available in Pokemon TCG Live. And that poses a few questions that I have that I want to consider for a few moments. The first question, the big one, probably the biggest one, is will Pokemon TCG Live actually work? There's always been struggles with every new expansion released thus far in the live beta, that the game has had some significant issues. There have been a number of cards that haven't worked, leading to the game freezing and crashing, or things just not working properly. So this is even a bigger one, as a whole new block is coming out, Scarlet and Violet, the new mechanic and the EX cards. History doesn't give me great confidence that things will be smooth when this happens. Another thing that's going to happen with this is rotation is going to happen, I believe, the same day. So we'll be losing a number of old cards. Hopefully they handle that smoothly. That seems like it should be simpler, but time will tell on that. And another reason concern for me is that there's going to be, I think, a lot of new users logging into Live for the first time with this, because they are not going to put Scarlet and Violet cards in PTCGO. So people that have been playing PTCGO have been preferring that. They want to have access to the newest cards, and so they're going to switch over to Live, either just logging into play or migrating their accounts. And there also may be a number of new users coming in, which I certainly hope so, right? Something like this is a chance to grow the game, but obviously a game that doesn't work right won't be fun for anyone. So will the game work? I'm personally anticipate some issues for the first few weeks. That's what history would tell me is most likely, but we'll see about that. The second question is what's going to happen with the Battle Pass. This last Battle Pass is a little unique, and it was a celebration, they said, of the global battle of the global beta being released. So they gave 4 decks, and they were completed in their entirety when you first got them. 2 at tier 25 and 2 at tier 0. Traditionally, there's only 2 decks that are given out, one on the basic and one on the premium battle pass. You get in the deck you get at tier 0 for each of those is a slightly nerfed version. As you work up a few tiers, maybe up to tier 10 or so, you'll usually get a few extra cards to fill out those decks. So what are we going to get? Something I'm certainly wondering. I imagine at least one will be an EX-based deck, quite possibly 2. That seems to be what they want to push the new thing with these decks, which is quite nice. Personally, I anticipate that Gardevoir EX will be one of the decks. They seem to be liking to give the deck that people really want in the Battle Pass, which is a plus. Gardevoir EX certainly has a lot of hype. That EX, and it works with, it's an EX card, so people want that. It works well with the Curly engine, so that seems like something. Certainly I want to try that out, and that may be on the Battle Pass. So what will those cards be? Decks be? We'll find out. Another question is, what are the starter decks going to be, right? When you come into Live now, you get 8 new decks, right? And none of those decks, as they're currently built, will fully survive rotation. In some cases, like the Zacian and Zamazenta deck, the main attackers are going away, so that deck is essentially wiped out completely. But other decks are playable, but will need some reconfiguring. Say a deck like Rapid Strike Malamar will need some changes to update it. So what are they going to do? Are they going to offer a new set of starter decks? I hope so. Certainly for a new player coming into the game, and we want new players, as I think I mentioned, to grow the game. But if a new player comes in and none of the decks they're given are actually playable in standard format, and the game essentially forces you to play standard format, it's going to be discouraging. So hopefully they have new starter decks that are legal as soon as rotation happens. So I'm not sure if they will. Pokemon has been, certainly on PTCGO, the decks that they gave you to start with weren't that good, and they really abandoned development of those for a very long period of time. So, but hopefully they get new decks for new players. And then a question that goes along with that, as an existing player, will we also be given the new decks? I hope so. A game like Magic the Gathering Arena, they give out new decks every year. They're very good about that, and existing players get those decks as well as new players. So hopefully Pokemon follows that model, and we all get some new decks and some new cards. It's certainly a good way to get access to the new cards if we get some new starter decks. And then the last question I have here is in terms of access to the new cards, right? What's the cost to craft the EX cards? How easy will it be to do? Currently, the Mimikyu EX, it can be crafted for 750 credits, so I expect that'll be the case. That's the cost of a V, which is terrific. A V Star or V Max costs more. So these EX-based decks can be much more budget-friendly, I'm hoping, right? If we're not buying any VMAX or V-Star valued cards, but only V-priced cards. And these EX cards, when they're evolutions, they're evolving from single-prize cards that are less expensive, whereas right now, if you get a V-Star or a V-Max Pokemon, you also have to purchase the basic V Pokemon, so it's much more expensive. So how easy will it be to craft these cards? How much, as a budget player, can you access the new cards? How quickly, right? These are some of the questions I have, right? How easy will it be to get the new cards? Are they going to do something with the starter decks? What's on the battle pass? And really the biggest question of all, will I be able to play Pokemon TCG live at all? Stay tuned and we'll all find out. Take care.